The recording has started. This is Module 1, Lesson 1.04 for 8th grade Language Arts. So everyone should have their notes out and have their lessons pulled up. So an educator, pull up Lesson 1.04 in your pace chart. So to get started, we need our pace charts up, 1.04 in your notes. All right, any questions before we get started? Awesome. Let's get started. Again, remember to stay focused, stay on task, especially in the chat box, and we will get started. Okay, 1.03. We're going to talk about it in just a minute, Henry, okay? So we have a couple of things to do this week. 1.03, moving a story forward. You guys are going to read that on your own. I want you to read through the lesson and take notes. Turn your objectives into questions, like we spoke about last week. To make guided notes for language arts, the best thing to do is take the objectives and turn those into questions. Go to Gradebook and take the quiz after you're done reading through 1.03 and taking your notes. And then repeat if necessary. You may retake your quiz if you don't get the grade that you want on it. I don't want you to take the quiz one after another. I want you to go back and reread through the lesson, add to your notes. All right. Questions on 1.03. Okay. Pretty straightforward for 1.03. 1.04 we're spending a little more time on because the assignment can get a little complicated. So you have three things, 103, 104, and 105 due this week. 1.03 and 1.05 are quizzes. 1.04 is an assignment. So we are going to focus on 1.04 for this live lesson. Okay? So everyone should be on 1.04. Yes, please. So on 1.04, let's go to the first page of 1.04 and let's look at the preview for the assignment. So when we go to 1.04, and I'm going to go right with you, how theme develops. It's a picture of 5 kids walking in the snow. And in the lower right-hand corner, there's always a preview of the assignment. So our preview is, in this assignment, you will explain how theme develops in the reef. So you will read 1.04, you'll learn about how theme develops, and then you will apply it to a separate story called The Reefs. If you are past 1.04, you can just listen for a review, okay? So let's take a look at 1.04 a little bit. So your objectives. After completing this lesson, you will be able to, and for those following along, the objectives are on the second page. So go to page 2 of 1.04. And what I did was I took the objectives and I changed those into questions to make my guided notes for me. How do I identify the theme of a story? How can you conclude analysis of a short story? How can I write a paragraph on the theme of a short story? And this is the one where we're really going to focus on, the third one, which is how can I write a paragraph on the theme of a short story? Because that's really what you're going to be doing in Module 4, or 1.04, excuse me. Now, those of you who've been with me in the past years, we do something similar in the past. This year, we are wanting a little more in depth from you, and you'll see as we go through it. So as you read through, and this is a long lesson, so it's 20 pages for 1.04, so you really need to dedicate some time to language arts this week. As you read through 1.04, you're going to find out more about theme. We spoke initially about theme last week. This week, 1.04 is about following the plot to find the theme. So you start with your setting, or your protagonist. Who is the protagonist? The setting, where is the protagonist? The rising action, the climax, the following action, and the resolution. Hopefully these terms are familiar to you. Give me a thumbs up if you're familiar with this and you've heard these terms before. Awesome. If you are not, that's okay. You're going to be able to go back through the lesson, and everybody, remember you guys, this is just a preview. Everyone's going to go through the lesson and spend some time really getting comfortable on this, okay? If you're not as confident on it, that's why you need to spend some more time and really go through the lesson and take good notes. Because remember, you can use those notes on quizzes and DBAs and exams, okay? This picture that you see on the screen, it's right from your lessons, so you can copy this into your notes. Remember, your notes are for you. So in 1.04, in the lesson you read A Retrieved Reformation by O. Henry to use an example as an example for the plot diagram and paragraph. So as you read the story by O. Henry, you will understand the plot and how that works together to make the theme of the story. Okay, so as you go through, you read the O. Henry story, and then for your assignment, you read a different short story called The Reef, where you write a paragraph plot summary and a plot diagram. Okay? So there's a couple of things that you do for 1.04. You read a story, you do a plot diagram, and you write a summary. Okay? And we're going to go more in depth in this live lesson about how to actually go through and do that. Okay. And again, oh, that's from the other grade. So, what is my assignment for 1.04? I want you guys to go to page 20 of 1.04. So everyone, hopefully you have a couple of tabs up. Go to page 20 in 1.04. And your page should look like this. What is my assignment for 1.04? Now it's different because it's not just doing a quiz. So you can see the first thing that you do is you read the lesson. Number 2, finish the activities in the lesson. And of course, take your notes. And then for number 3, it says read the instructions. And instructions is underlined. Anytime you see something underlined or in a different color in Educator, you want to click on the hyperlink because it's going to pull up more information in a new window. And then it says save your work to your computer or drive, submit your work in 1.04, how theme develops. But let's go back here and let's look at this. So it says read the instructions. Well, I need to click on that to get to the instructions. So everyone on page 20, I want you to click on that read the instructions. And it's going to pull up, actually give me a thumbs up if you all were able to get to 1.04, how theme develops. If you are confused, hang in there and I'll help you at the end. Fino, pull it up, follow along as everyone's going through it. So what you want to do is you want to go to the last page of 1.04. It's okay if you didn't do the lesson because we're going over what the assignment is. And then you pull up the instructions and this is what you get. It says you will read a story and analyze how theme develops in the story. View the grading rubric as you complete your assignment. This is your guide to super submission. You can see that that's a different color, so you want to click on that grading link. And then it says select the 1.04 worksheet. And I put a little reminder there telling you to always click on the hyperlink. Especially for this, because if you don't click here, you're not going to get the story. So I want everybody to click right here on the 1.04 worksheet. And you should get a new window that pulls up called the Reefs. Smiley faces if you got there. Okay, hopefully I'm not going too fast. Awesome. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so this is a story that you need to use for your assignment. I know, Joshua, we're getting there. So this is a story that you need to read for the assignment. And at the bottom, it has a graphic organizer. Well, Josh, you're exactly right. You can't write on it when you click on it. So, because I'm awesome and in order to make your life easier, I made you one on your pace chart on a Google Doc. So now I want everyone to go to their pace chart. So everyone pull up your pace chart for 8th grade. And scroll down to week 3. Or week 2, sorry, week 2. Scroll down to week 2. Oh, look, I see a bunch of you there. Charles is here, Dalen, Devin, Caitlin, Katie, Madison, McKinley, Marissa, Moises, Mia, Nevaeh. Awesome. There's a couple of people who are anonymous too, so you might not be signed in yet. Okay, so thumbs up if you got to the pace chart to where it says 1.04. Fabulous. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to click on where it says 1.04. So everyone go to your pace chart, click on where it says 1.04 assignment, and that is going to pull up a new document called 1.04 How Theme Develops Assignment. Oh, I see a lot of you on there. Charles, Dalen, Caitlin, McKinley, Mia, Sabrina, Sophia, Devin, Daria, Marissa, Madison, Moises, Andrew, Nevaeh, Josh. Okay, so now that you're on there, you need to do what? What do you need to do? You can't write on it because I can't give everyone permission to write on it. So what you need to do, good job, Madison and Caitlin, is you need to make a copy of it. So if you're not familiar with this, you need to do File, Make a Copy. And when you do File, Make a Copy, you're going to need to rename it with your name, not my last name. Nobody else's last name in here is Bailey. So rename it with your last name and then LA 1.04. You can do your first initial and last name, but you need to make sure that your name's on it. And then LA for Language Arts and 1.04. This gets a lot easier because if you need to redo something and you're looking in your Google Docs for it and you didn't put it in the right folder, if you've named it with your last name and LA for Language Arts and the number of the assignment, it'll be so much easier to find. So you should always name your documents with your last name, the subject, and the number. Okay? Just to review, because it looks like there's a couple people who are confused, you want to go to the pace chart. You want to click on 1.04. It brings up the assignment. And you want to do File, Make a Copy. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. A couple of people, okay, perfect, thank you. Most of you can hear me, there's a couple that couldn't, so I just wrote a message for them to try to log out and log back in. Sadara, do you have a question? Okay, so we've made a copy. You've titled it with your name. Now, if you've done this and you haven't put your name on it, please put your name on it unless you've already turned it in. But from this point on, you should title everything with your name, subject, and what assignment it is. so now, thumbs up if we're good with that. Everybody has this done. They've made a copy of it. They put their name on it. Thumbs up if you've done that. Yes, that's fine, Sadara. Thumbs up if you're good. Okay. So, you have your document. Okay, that's what you're going to do the graphic organizer in, and that's what you're going to write your paragraph in. So we have that. So now let's go back and look at what else we need to do. We know we need to read a story called The Reefs. We need to do a plot diagram, but let's look at it. So this is right from the description of the assignment. Let me go back so you can see exactly where I am, because I know I skipped around a little bit. Right here, 1.04, how theme develops. Okay, so in 1.04, how theme develops, we've already done the worksheet. Okay, we've read the story. Let's pretend we've read the story. We've saved the worksheet because you have it in your Google Docs. And now we need to identify the plot elements of the story under the graphic organizer. And now let's go on to the paragraph. So it says, number 1, identify the plot elements of the story under the graphic organizer. Write and complete sentences. So there's 2 parts to this assignment. There's the graphic organizer of the plot, and then there's a paragraph. The next part is where you're going to write 1 full paragraph or more in response to this task. Okay? So 1 or more full paragraphs, and this is what you're going to write about. A, identify the theme in the reefs and explain how it develops in the story. Be sure to cite evidence from the text. Make sure to include each of the following in your paragraph. A topic sentence that states the theme. You also want to put the author in the title. Several body sentences that support your answer by analyzing the setting, protagonist, rising action, climax, and resolution. So you need to have those words in your paragraph. You want to tell me about the reefs, and you want to use the term setting, protagonist, rising action, climax, and resolution. Okay. A conclusion sentence that sums up what you have written in your paragraph. And then, of course, you're going to proofread for complete sentences, proper punctuation, and grammar and spelling. Okay. So again, there's 3 assignments due for language arts this week. This one's going to take you some time to do. I want you to organize your week accordingly. And I'm looking for really good 1 to 2 paragraph on this, along with the graphic organizer. Okay, questions? Smiley face if you're good. If you have questions, remember you can hang out at the end. Okay. Not yet, Joey, because we have more to go over, and I haven't given you the Google document yet. Okay. So now what? Let's pretend that you get off the live lesson, you go and you do 1.03, you do 1.04. So you've read the lesson, you finished the activities in the lesson, you answered your objective questions. Now you go to assignment 1.04, you complete the plot diagram and the paragraph, and then you want to submit it to your gradebook as a PDF. Now for some of you this may be a review, but I just want to make sure everyone understands that when we turn in an assignment, you can't just turn it in as a Google Doc. It needs to be turned in as a PDF. And it's easy peasy to do that. What you do is you go to File, Download as PDF. And on your Chromebook, what that will do, as soon as you do File, Download as PDF, that takes that document, turns it into a PDF, and puts it in your Google Drive. Okay, so file, download as PDF, and then when you go to your gradebook and submit it, you just get it from your Google Drive. Okay. Thumbs up if you're okay with that, thumbs down if you're not sure. And this is for all your classes, not just language arts. So everything needs to be submitted as a PDF. Okay. If you are not sure of that, you can stay and I'll help you. Okay, perfect. Awesome, awesome sauce. So reminders, due Friday. Usually we have 2 things, 2 or 3. This week we have 3. Brianna, I'll help you at the end, okay? So today, this week, due Friday at 4. 1.03, Moving a Story Forward quiz. 1.04, How Theme Develops assignment. That's the one that we just downloaded into your Google Docs and you made a copy. 1.05, Evaluate Mediums quiz. Okay. So set a time. You should be working every day in language arts. Set aside time to do it. Fill out the Google form for attendance. Link is in the chat. Put it in just a minute. No live lessons the following 2 Mondays. We are off. No school. What I will do is I'll send out a recording on Friday for the next week and then the following Friday for the next one. The recording will just kind of walk you through what's due. That way, if there's anything that's unique or different, you can know. So no live lessons the next 2 Mondays. Look for recording in your email on Friday, in your educator email. Big deal this week. Grace period ends Friday. Please, please be on pace and passing in all of your classes, okay? I need you guys to be on pace and passing in all of your classes, otherwise you may be withdrawn. Okay, so not just on pace, but passing too. If you have questions or need help, please reach out to your teachers. We're here to help. I just put the Google form in the chat box, and you can go ahead and fill out that Google form, which will give you credit for being here. Okay? If you feel confident in what you're doing, you may go ahead and leave. If you have additional questions, please stay so I can